Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Andy Ruiz Jr. let it be known to Eddie Hearn, MATCHROOM CEO and promoter, that listen, this is gonna go the way I say it's gonna go, and I want this fight to take place in New York City, back at Madison Square Garden, New York. Regardless of what you say about me going to court or being stripped of my titles, I'm the boss, I'm the title holder, I'm the champion, I have say so, this is gonna go the way I say. You know, Andy Ruiz Jr. says that he wants this fight to take place back at Madison Square Garden in New York, regardless of the reports that Eddie Hearn came out and stated that the rematch will take place in Saudi Arabia December 7th. Andy Ruiz says I did not sign the contract, and I want this rematch to take place on my terms, on my turf, where I say and when I say. He says that the rematch will happen soon, but I want the fight to take place at Madison Square Garden in New York, point blank and period. At the end of the day, at the very least, I want this fight to take place in the States. We know earlier Andy Ruiz Jr. came out and he stated that, the rematch wasn't going to go to Saudi Arabia. He wasn't going to Saudi Arabia, that Anthony Joshua was looking for excuses. They looking to drag him to Saudi Arabia. He said he had no protection there, so on and so forth. Eddie Hearn responded quickly by stating that if Andy Ruiz doesn't defend his titles, he will be going to court and facing legal obligations. Andy Ruiz has now come out and says, regardless of what you say, I want this fight to take place in New York, Madison Square Garden, or at the very least somewhere in the States. Andy Ruiz is seeking the backing of the U.S. government in this case because he's citing that, Saudi Arabia is too dangerous. It's a level 2, as far as, things go, attacks and things of that nature. So he doesn't feel safe. So that's what he's going to use to back him to avoid having to go to Saudi Arabia. And, there's no court in the States. There's no place in the States that Eddie Hearn could go to get him to back him, to force the fight to take place in Saudi Arabia. So more and more, it looks like this fight is going to take place in the very least in the States. I don't know if it's definitely going to take place in Madison Square Garden in New York, but it's definitely looking like it's going to come back to the States because Andy Ruiz has dropped the anchor and stopped the ship midstream. He's not going to be forced to do anything. He's not going to be forced to go anywhere, and he's going to try his best to dictate his terms and use his power, the fact that he's the champion. He has not signed the contract, as Eddie Hearn stated earlier. The only contract that has been issued out was the original contract, and that was before the first fight even took place. So there wasn't even a second contract that Andy Ruiz signed, especially not for Saudi Arabia. So Andy Ruiz Jr. is stating that, listen, the rematch is going to take place in the States, and he's pushing for it to take place back at Madison Square Garden. So the rematch between himself and Anthony Joshua, former unified British heavyweight champion, to take place back at the scene of the crime, Madison Square Garden, New York. So there's a lot of turmoil with this. There's a lot of drama, but that's going to sell the fight. It's definitely selling the fight. It's just making the fight bigger and bigger as the days pass. So the more drama and the more turmoil that comes out, the bigger this fight gets, point blank and period. But that's all I got for y'all. Andy Ruiz lets it be known, listen, I'm the boss, I'm the champ. It's going to be on my terms, and I want it back at Madison Square Garden. That's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.